Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a little closer look at our program of rebuilding door closers. Now, we would rebuild door closers primarily because, well, there are times when you can no longer get the door closer that you have, and that it is the path of least resistance to rebuild a closer rather than to replace it with a new closer that will most likely require a different footprint, different holes, calling in maybe an installer, things of that nature. So there are times when what you have is obsolete and a rebuild is the easy of the less difficult of multiple options. And there are times when it's less expensive as well, certainly. Now, rebuilt door closers are going to be, in this setting, they're going to be mechanical, they're going to be hydraulic, they're going to be just typical sorts of surface closers that you're going to see on common man doors. So surface closers we're going to rebuild. We're going to do rebuilding on floor closers as well, your dormas, your Rixons. We're going to do rebuilds on overhead closers as well. So let's start with floor closers. We're going to rebuild them from Dormatic, from Dorma, from MAB, from R&K, and from Rixon. So all of those options we'll be able to give you. When it comes to overhead concealed, we're going to be able to do Dormatic, Dorma, Jackson, Quanier, LCN, MAB, Norton, R&K, Rixon, and Yale. Finally, with surface applied, practically all the major names: Corbin Russwin, Dormatic, Dorma, Ilko, Lockwood, Quanier, MAB, LCN, Norton, Rixon, Sargent, Tubalite, and Yale. A primary example of where it applies to do a rebuild is the LCN 1371 closer that was discontinued years ago. There are countless of them. There are countless LCN 1371s that exist. They have a unique mount and a unique footprint. They are now impossible to find new because they've just been discontinued for so long. And you might very likely have an entire fleet of these door closers. Rebuilding is the way to go because they're going to fit into a narrow space. They're going to have that bracket that they bolt down to once the bracket is applied, and it's a closer that gives a specific sort of streamlined, non-handed, sleek look with decorative end caps that are there. Now, what's going to happen when you send in a closer to be serviced? First of all, identifying the closer is the first step. We have added products or built products in the website, giving as much technical detail as we can to allow you to identify what you have, know what it is, and then proceed with placing an order for a rebuild. In the rebuild process, it's going to be a complete teardown. There will be a replacement of all new parts. There will be a thorough inspection. All of the internal parts are checked, replaced, confirmed are in good working order. A complete cleanup. Cooker soap is applied. The cast iron, if that's the case, is going to get a complete cleanup, a process not unlike cleaning cast iron cookware, actually. New O-rings, new oil, new paint, and a lead time that's about 1 to 2 weeks to ship. So it's going to look like a new closer. On top of that, there's going to be a 1-year warranty as well. So you'll be able to extend the life of what you've got. Now, the body that you send in is not necessarily the body that will be sent back. And quite frankly, it generally is not, because there is another closer that has been brought up to those standards that I've previously mentioned on the shelf, ready to go. If you, not to say that if you're sentimental, but if you want that exact door closer body back, indicate that in the comment field at the time of order. That will be the one that will be physically put through the paces, rebuilt, repainted, cleaned up, new oil, new parts, new O-rings, and sent back. That extends the lead time. In the interest of decreasing lead time, we keep a small quantity of them on the shelf ready to go, so it's a swap out, that sort of business. Also allows, an efficiency in the shop if you have 5 of them to rebuild rather than just 1 at a time. That's another reason of why it would be. So here's what you do. You place an order, make any comments that you need in the comment field, complete your order. we are going to reach out to you and say, okay, so we're very proud of the rebuilt sort of process. It is a very important aspect because so many door closers have become obsolete that it will allow you to continue to get that useful service. Now, in the instance of an LCN 1371, not really so much a big deal because you can get a new door closer that will fit onto that space. But imagine if the frame itself was manufactured to incorporate a specific body size, or imagine if the floor of the concrete itself was made for a specific floor closer. Those are instances where you'll probably need to seriously consider a rebuild rather than a replacement, or until you can no longer get rebuilds, I suppose. My name is Rich Howard. If you have any questions on the rebuild door closer process, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you. Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to simply talk about our buy first and exchange sort of rebuilt door closer program. So there are two programs that we have here regarding door closers that are likely discontinued and no longer available, but they are available as rebuilt units that will carry a 1-year warranty and will give you the same sort of performance as the factory original, and indeed they are brought up to full factory original specifications. The two programs are this. There's the first one where you send us your unit, which it will itself specifically be rebuilt, so long as you clarify that on the order that you want that exact one returned. Some people, while they're not sentimental to their door closer body, they might want that exact one sent back. Might be a special finish. Indicate that. The other program is the one that this video specifically pertains to. You might have a door closer, overhead surface, overhead concealed floor closer, that if you were to remove it, you no longer have a door that behaves as it should. If you have an overhead surface closer and it's completely failed, it may not be terrible to remove it from the door, but there are many closers that if you remove it from the door, you no longer have a hanging door, and that is obviously something that you would prefer to have rather than a door not hung. A door not acting properly is better than one that's not hanging. So because that's the case, much of the time this program is where you will order the unit from us. We will ship you the rebuilt unit, and when you place the order, it's paid for. The order is processed, the unit gets boxed up and shipped out. When you get that, you will perform your swap. The new goes in, the rebuilt goes in, the out comes back out, you ship that back to us. Upon receipt and inspection of the unit, there is a 40% credit back to the original cost of the unit that you've bought and paid for. This is how this works. So in those instances where you can't remove and send it and wait for us to fix that one and send it back, you might need to get one in your hands, do the work, send it back. You get the refund back. Now, the exchange program is significantly more expensive than the rebuilt program, and the reason is this. We need at least the best assurance we can at getting the original core back, because much of these items are no longer available. They are literally extinct, and we need to make sure that we get the old bodies back so that we can keep them in circulation. As time goes on, those bodies become more difficult to get, and eventually they will no longer be available whatsoever, but that 40% credit back allows us to keep the program working with those bodies that are completely no longer obtainable. My name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and if you have any questions on this program or any other door closer whatsoever, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you very much.